Hmm. Don't know what happened. Well, let me read the disclaimer on this one as well. All information provided on this channel for educational purposes only, and this channel does not promote or encourage the misuse of the information. I will mention some alleged happenings today in my opinion too. But remember, your thoughts and opinions are equally important in shaping our discussion. I will use words not intended to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonates with you and what does not, put it on the shelf or throw it away. I'm waiting to see if some people are going to come back in. I don't know what happened. It froze for some reason. My computer usually don't freeze. My grandson should be graduating soon. I have to go to his graduation, but the thing of it is with them, my grandkids, I was able to teach them from a spiritual standpoint, uh, as well as them dealing with the physical, which is pretty awesome to me. And I wasn't able to do that with my children. But it's okay. They have to learn whatever they need to learn, and they have a journey to go down, and we all do. And well, I'm waiting on you guys to come in. Okay, no problem. Waiting on some people to come in. And we had a pretty good conversation going on too. Pretty good conversation. I didn't know what was going on because I had not experienced that. Yeah. Oh, you did. It was buffing. I don't know where that came from, BL. I don't know where that came from. That's the first time I experienced that. I thought we had some pretty good discussion going on there for a second. Well, I hope everything work out for love. I've been in that space. Woo, that was a horrible space to be in too, man. I tell you what, I'm so glad. And then the thing about it, every time I turn around, all these married couples was in my face, and I had to talk to them, and it was a hot mess. And I was boo-hooing. I was happy for them, but they were having problems. So what I had to do was talk to these married couples about things that they could not do what I did. it was just really funny because I'm like, you got me telling these people I'm in my own pain. You got me telling these people, and it was helping them too. I mean, everything was just married couples, just married couples, just married couples. I'm so glad. I because I love to see. I'm a stickler for romance. For romance, I mean, I love. I would listen to nothing but love songs forever and a day. The old ones, there, not the new ones, but shoot, they have to deal with married couples, and they were going through what they were going through, and then had to deal with. I wound up dealing with other women that wanted to beat up on their ex-husband because they didn't want him. And man, I tell you, I had to tell them some stories too. I tell you what, it's been funny. I didn't laugh at their hurt and pain, but when I say funny, I'm not talking about in laughter. It's just been funny how my journey, how I had to go on my journey, you know. And but that having to deal with the married couples and had to deal with the women that was bitter, because I was bitter, the women that was bitter like myself, um, it all that helped me. We helped each other. So that's what I definitely know, that we all can help each other, because I may not have the answer to something, and then somebody in the chat will have the answer to whatever. Because I'm not here just to answer no questions. I mean, we all are here. I put this together for all of us to come in here and communicate, because that's the problem. You go on these chats, you go on some of these these channels, and all they do is they think they know everything. I'm like, girl. I'm like, guy. You need to stop. None of us know everything. We may know a lot about our journey, but that's all it is. Unless you've been through that experience, you can't tell nobody about that experience. That's just like, I'm not a prostitute, but I've been around prostitution and women that are prostitute, and they actually listen to me because I have a compassion for what the church throws away. I have compassion for those people. I have compassion for uh, where the church wouldn't. They throw people away because of their ignorance in trying to read the Bible. You can't read the Bible. It's not a book to read. It's a it's an allegory book. So you got to know some knowledge to understand that book. But you like romance and love and relationship stories? Yeah. Oh, you Libra? Yeah. But that's what you are, though. I was gonna do. I was doing some zodiacs, right? And people don't realize the month goes from the 21st to the 21st of each month, and that's how it works. It's not, and I've talked about the beginning of the months. The beginning of the year doesn't start in January. It starts in March, April. And the what people don't realize, and it's a beautiful thing when you understand the zodiacs. When you understand the zodiacs, you have the lower and the higher in each zodiac sign. And the objective is to achieve each higher in each zodiac sign. Let me see if I think I was going to do a video on it. I did a video on it. And, but I thought about it. I said, you know what? That's just the video that I did on it. I just put flip charts together. And I said, you know what? Maybe they'll understand it better if I go if I just talk about, okay, here it is. Here are my little notes. Okay. All right. So Aries represents war. And then Taurus represent the values. And Gemini represent understanding or understanding. And then Cancer represent the family. And if you know these people and you know the zodiacs, like my daughter, she's a Cancer, and family is very important to her. And then Leo is creativity, the royal ruler. And then Virgo is the healer, is the purifier. And you hear me talking about healing and people being in good health and all that stuff. That's me. And then the Libra, you're gonna crack up with this one, BLH. The Libra is partnership and marriage. That's why you like romance and relationship, because that's who you are. And here's the key thing. Well, let me finish this up. Scorpio is bonding. And then Sagittarius is spiritual wisdom. And then the Capricorn is sacrifice. And the Aquarius is humanitarian. And then Pisces is the compassionate one. Are you back? Okay, good. So check this out. When you go through, because your body goes through the zodiacs. When you go through the zodiacs, you are experiencing the lower or the higher of that zodiac. But the objective, once you understand or understand the zodiacs, the objective is to achieve the highest of that zodiac, which is what I just read. Because you need they're called the principles. The 12 principles of the zodiac. And the 12 principles are in the 12 tribes. It was no such tribe called the Israel, but the 12 tribes, the 12 glands, the 12 disciples are actually the 12 zodiacs. And you got to understand the process of going through those zodiacs. You hear people say, "Oh, I'm Aries, and I'm just, I'm gonna fight for what I want," because that's what they do. They can be just as wrong as they want to be because they're operating in their lower self. So, but when they operate in their higher self, the war like mindset that they have, they will defend good or justice or whatever like that. All of us, once we understand the 12 principles, I think they got a book out there now. Now, some books I would suggest, but I don't know what's a good book, but I do know that the zodiac is the 12 principles, and you have to know those to elevate. That's a part of the process. You know, I started studying the zodiacs when I was a teenager, and it just came to me about the zodiacs. I wasn't reading no book. We back then we couldn't afford no books. Uh, no more than what was given to us at the library. But it's just important to understand energy. Energy is so important, and people don't get it. You know, I hear them talking about. I always prefer learning Saturn and Jupiter signs like Aquarius, Capricorn, Libra, Sag, and okay. Well, that's good. So you add the other ones that you don't do on to that, because that's the only way you're going to excel. That's the only way you're going to lift yourself. You got to understand all 12 of them. It's a process. You're not going to understand all of them at one time. I remember one time there were some things. Yes, the 12 tribes of Israel is the zodiac. I did a video. Let me see, can I find that video? Hold up. Yeah, I did it. I be thinking you guys be watching my videos, and come to find y'all don't be watching my videos, man. I tell you the truth. I put so much heart and effort into those videos for you guys. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Spirit. The 12 houses. Okay, videos. Let's see. Okay, here it is right here. Wait a minute. Is that it? I'll be doing them. I'll be okay, here it is right here. I'll be I'll be trying to sometimes it's just a lot to absorb. Here. That's the video right there. So BLH says, as a Libra, I am attracted to Saturn Aries, but they are always on the go and the run, and pioneer of being a maverick, and I can barely find them. Always a ram in the bush. Aries represent Mars. Well, if you watch that video that I just posted, I put all that stuff in that video. Put all that stuff in the video, and I'm about to put some wheels up. When I get through, I'm about to put the wheels up. Uh, about the zodiacs, I'm gonna put them up. It's like 12 of them, and I'm gonna break it down even more. I'll be try different ways to break it down, so where one person may can understand it, and then there's another person that may not be able to understand it. Just different ways. Yep, yep, yep. I know about them. And I'm gonna put the wheels up. So once people look at them, some people are just so visual, and I figure if I put the wheels up, they'll be able to see it better. Because before I just put the flip charts up, and I may have put one or two wheel up. Do you know that the zodiacal? So basically, yeah, you evolving, you evolving. Sometimes like okay, let's just say we're in the month we're in the zodiac sign Taurus. Yeah, we're in Taurus. And so whatever the low root of Taurus, because the high root of Taurus is value. Value is very important to the Taurus. And so that's the highest in Taurus. And believe it or not, money is attached to the Taurus. That's the other thing. Like some people, they can't get no money. They can't get no money. I think it's Taurus and Sagittarius that money is attracted to them. But it won't be attracted to you unless you be evolving. Because if you in that lower self of that Taurus, it's not going to come to you. That's why I just think it's important that we get there. We got to get there, people, because ain't nobody gonna help you unless you help yourself. I saw a video where the elites did a video. The elites were fraternity sorority, And what they did, they had created a whole community just for them. Everybody else couldn't come into the community. And they helped each other. Oh, you adore the moon in Taurus placement? Okay. But I saw the movie. When I was watching the movie, they helped their own. Those that was in the fraternity and sorority, they helped each other. But outside of that, they didn't help people. And so, and they've always done that. And but see, now they losing, they're not helping each other like they were, because they're very jealous. There's a lot of jealousy going on in that group now. Um uh just a lot of things going on in that group that shouldn't be going on in that group. And my point is, when it's going to be divided, because it wasn't built on a spiritual thing. For as long as stuff is not built on spirituality, it's going to break up. It's not going to last. What I mean by that, it may last 40, 50 years, but and then there's a time period that it's going to stop. Everything has to be built spiritually. All gardeners like to plant during the moon. I'm trying to get with this moon. I saw the man in the moon, and I'm still trying to get with this moon. I don't want to reject the moon totally. Just like I was rejecting the sun for a minute, and then I had to go back to it. And then when I start going back to the sun is always in my room. The sun is always at my window, but I was rejecting it. I'm not rejecting the moon just, now, but I'm trying to understand, why did I get to see the man in the moon? And I don't think that was a hologram either, because that thing, when I saw the man in the moon, I start carrying on fussing. And so the moon started coming down above my daughter's car. And my eyes was wide awake. And I don't understand that. So I'm still trying to understand about the moon. I don't quite yet understand it. You know. I know that it says that Yah is the god of the moon, but I know what I saw is androgynous too. I know that that man that I saw in the moon has a female version too. I'm very, I do know that. I do know that he has a female version, but I don't understand why he tried to why he wanted me to see him. And until I get clear understanding of that, I just, when people talk about the moon, they just be, I'm just kind of like waiting. Well, they say, I think it may be, or maybe, I think the pronunciation of it is Ikata. Let me see how they pronounce it. Maybe I think I'm spelling it wrong. Let's see, can I find it? Hmm. Yeah, thank you. Hekat. Yeah, I was looking for it. That's it. Hmm. Because Ikata's supposed to be on the backside of the moon. And from what I understand, this is what I understand for now. That may change. When people pass, their spirit goes to the backside of the moon. That's where they are. Their spirits is there. All spirits are held at the moon. Um, Also, when a person, when the body dies, the spirit leaves the body. The spirit hangs around the earth for about 40 days, going through, I guess, visiting people or whatever, whatever. And then after the 40 days, it goes on the backside of the moon. So they're not telling people. See, the fourth, that's the fourth dimension. That can't nobody get past that fourth dimension. I hear people say they're in the fifth dimension. I'm a little bit weary of that, because if you think that those up there in the fourth dimension can't get out of here, you think they're gonna let you out of here? You know, especially when I hear them talking about um, they got the power. First of all, if somebody had the power, you're gonna experience that power. Some type of, you're gonna experience something off that person. You know, the lights may start flickering, the it may get dark and light. You're gonna see some power surrounding that person's aura. You're going to see it, you know. And so when people tell me stuff, I don't say no to what they're telling me. I just observe them. And when I don't see what they tell me, then I'd be like, oh, okay. Okay. We were taught former school. Selena and Artemis was the moon. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, no. Ikata was the name. That's the name I was looking for. Raquel was Ikata. That's what I was looking for. You know, that was a young lady. Um, she she told me about Ikata, and she gave me an article, a very long article about Ikata, and I didn't get a chance to read it all, but I read some of it. And my son told me that the one that passed, he told me that he, I guess he was calling Yah in the moon. He said the god up there is female and male, and so and then he also told me some years ago that he, when I was into Jesus at that time, he told me that he had saw the man in the moon. And I'm like, boy, there ain't no man in no moon. And sure enough, almost 30 something years later, I saw it, because I didn't believe him. The Q is exchangeable for K. The U is silent in Raquel. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. It's amazing. That's why I tell people you have to go into other cultures. If you're searching and you're trying to find out stuff and the spirit is not giving it to you, you got to go in those other cultures. There is a let's see. Hold up. Let me find it first. Because I noticed they be when I don't know how to pronounce words, I use this right here when I don't know how to pronounce words. I use that right there. Then also when I don't, because I know how to manipulate this. I've been using this so long, I manipulate it. This is the translator. The language translator, I use that. And then when I want to play with words, when I want to go and play with words, I use this right here. Everything is there for you to utilize. You just have to know where to look, or you have to allow the spirit to tell you where to look. I guess everybody else to go had to go had to go somewhere. I thought they would have came back on. I was kind of waiting on them to come back in, but I guess they decided not to. Yeah, that's what I use to pronounce words. I'm not a big thing on pronouncing the English words anyway, because they low vibrational. So when people say, "Oh, you can't pronounce a word," I be laughing at them because I'm like, if you understood how the English language is, you wouldn't even. You like to pick at how I speak. Yeah, they ain't come back, but I thought they would have come. But see, that's what I'm saying. Well, maybe they had something to do. But that's what I'm saying. When someone wants to do a live, because I do think that we can be beneficial to each other in many ways. We can be informative. See, that's the problem. People have not been taught to be helpful to one another because they've been taught to be in competition with one another. And so, what I'm saying, we need to start being helpful and helping one another because that competition of shit needs to go. It just need to go. There's no reason for it. It just needs to go. I never like when I see people in competition with one another. I used to get so mad, and I used to put that, especially with females. I used to put them in check right then and there. Why you in competition with her? You can't do that. You're not qualified to do that. Focus on what you qualified to do. These females sometimes they try to do something that somebody else did. You can't do it. Like this one girl told me, I gave her a real nice compliment, and somehow she took a defense to it. And that's not. And she was saying you got to wait on your time. She did a video, and I know she was talking to me, and because she said she wanted to talk to me, so I went to talk to her, but she never did. And so she was saying that you have to you gonna shine. Everybody has to shine. Don't try to take somebody else shine away. I'm like, what the hell? You talking to a 60-something-year-old woman. What the hell I look like trying to be in competition with somebody at 60-something years old? Am I stupid or what? And then you in your 40s. I mean, you in your 30s. And I felt so sad for her because she misinterpreted what I was doing, what I was saying. I was giving her a compliment, but she didn't take it that way. Because she had a childhood experiences. She didn't give herself time to heal. And what people don't realize, when you don't give yourself time to heal and you have children, you put that stuff in your children. All that stuff goes in your children. And then you wonder why your children become adult and they so insecure, because that's what was in you. You put all that in you. Whatever you experiencing, you put it all in your children. And the young lady is insecure. She's very insecure. And my thing is, when you got 3, 4, 5, 6 children, you don't need a man. You need to help. You need to be there for your children. And once your children become adults, then you get a man. Because the way some of these males are doing now, they getting in with these girls and they're doing harm to their children. And you shouldn't want, after all this. See, I go by, if somebody had an example of hurt and pain, I'm gonna look at that person's hurt and pain, and I'm not gonna do that shit. But some people are foolish and they want to experience that stuff for themselves. Oh, you 55 years old, Raquel? I didn't know that. Wow. You know, and it's crazy. Listen, I wish I told my daughter, I wish I had somebody like me to talk to me back when I was young. I wouldn't have had no children. I wouldn't have had no husband. I would have been out there living my life as a freestyle person. I'm serious. Because children go from worries as a kid, and then when they become adult, they on your heart. Because if you didn't teach them right, you watch over them to see if they don't make good decisions for themselves, and if they don't make good decisions for themselves, you're going to hurt behind it. As a mother, I don't know if fathers look at it like that, but mothers do. You feel, as a real mother, you feel bad about your errors, your children's errors, because you take on guilt, thinking that it was your fault that they don't know how to whatever. You take on that because you don't want your children to suffer. You don't. You Even though there's lessons we all got to learn, and most of the time the lessons for us to learn, we have to go through negativity to learn the lessons. I'm running my own race. The winner is my own race. Yes. Yes. And that's how I feel, the same way you do, Raquel. I'm running my own race. I'm not in competition with nothing, jack shit. You know, somebody told me, oh, your skin this and your skin that. Oh, it's radiant. She was saying that. Well, but see, the thing of it is, I don't come on YouTube to beautify myself. I really don't give a damn what I look like to people. I'm in my own, listen, I'm in the comfort of my room. And in the comfort of my room, I am not going. Now, I may pull this hair back and put it in a ponytail, but that is for, and I may put a scarf on, but that's as much as you're going to get from me. And if I get on YouTube and dressed up, that means I came from outside and I came from somewhere. But other than that, yeah, take me as I am. That's the way it is. I've always been a person to dress up for Deborah. I never dressed up for my ex-husband. It was always about me. I dressed for Deborah. And I didn't care whether you liked it or not. I dressed for Deborah. I'm be honest with you. And I'm a stickler for European clothing. Well, back in the 70s. Uh I don't know where they getting their clothing here in America now, but it ain't looking too good to me. They got stripes working with plaids and ain't nothing matching. Mismatched shit, and they think it look good. It do not. Plaid and stripes ain't never look good together. You know, they need to go the same direction. But I wish they had came back. Okay. Well, I was gonna talk about I was gonna talk about what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is I saw the video where um Cassie had ran out the hotel room, and Diddy came out there with his tower on. But at that time, she was, I guess she was in her, she's about 20, 29. They say she was born August the 26th, 1986. Plaids and stripes. Yeah, exactly. Them damn plaids and stripes. So she was 29. And I don't understand why would they put something out there on YouTube that took place in 2014, and which didn't make sense to me. Then I went and watched a video where Sean had Combs had apologized for that, and so then I went back and looked at. They have they made a documentary on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi. They made a documentary, and I saw that documentary. And here's my thing, and I wanted to give my take on it. My son, I love Sean Combs clothing line. The boy has. I'm a stickler for foreign clothing. Well, Italian clothing, and I like the European clothing. And my son used to buy everything Sean Combs had, and he had some nice stuff. And I'm not gonna lie. I even got a hat that he had. Um, but here's the thing. And I went and looked at some of the stories that they said about him. Um, what happened to him? What possibly could have happened to him? His father was a gang leader in Harlem. His name was Melvin Combs. And then he was associated with or connected, they say, to Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes, which was gangsters. Um, I did watch a movie on both of them, a documentary on Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes. I watched you know. And here's my thing: if he was associated with what his mother name was Janice, no, her name is Janice Combs, and they say she had 3 jobs, and the grandmother had 2. And they say that Sean was he was doing the paper route, and they say he owned it, but you can't own a paper route unless you get in the paper. Now, if he did the paper right, then I understand that. And but here's the thing. My attitude was, you're not guilty. You're innocent until you're found guilty. Now, I don't understand the purpose of the 2014 video with him and Cassie. That didn't make sense to me. And so I tried to understand, well, why was Homeland Security there? And Homeland Security only goes to somebody's house, and I wrote it down for 6 different reasons. And oh shoot. Uh, and one of them is sex trafficking. Let me see, sex trafficking. Let me start from the top. Uh, national security threat, active terrorism, narcotics and arms smuggling, child exploitation, human smuggling and trafficking, and financial fraud and scams. That's the only time you're going to see Homeland Security. Now, it was uh, allegations that up against him for sex trafficking. Now, I know damn well they wasn't doing that with Cassie, and I have learned over the years with YouTube channels, not YouTube themselves, but the YouTube channels. Like this one person out there, she says she has a channel, and I did report that to YouTube, but nothing happened. She is on YouTube. She has a channel, and she calls out the celebrities, and she said they dead. When you go looking, they're still alive. And so I didn't understand why YouTube allowed her to continue lying about these people being dead and they're not. So based off that, I know that multimedia tells lies because you're innocent until proven guilty. I don't believe Homeland Security went to his house. Well, first of all, my theory is this. Puffy Sean Combs knows some high-ranking people. That means in the political arena, probably in the mafia, and probably in the in the political arena, and just the mafia and all them. I believe he knows some high-ranking people. And if in fact he threw these parties that they say he throws, then those people, many of them, probably goes to those parties. I feel that Homeland Security went in to confiscate videos of those high-ranking people that was a part of that process. But Sean Combs is not a dumb guy. He's not dumb by any means. And he wouldn't have put that in his house. Now, that is my observation. And so, therefore, because sex trafficking been going on for a long time in America. Remember the guy, what was his name? What was that guy's name? Oprah was connected to him. Let's see, what was his name? Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein was connected to trafficking, and they say that, now this is just allegedly, that Oprah was allowing those little girls over in Africa in that school she had um, to be used to go to Weinstein's island. Now that's allegedly. Now it is amazing to me that there was talk about it, and then all of a sudden that conversation disappeared when it came to Oprah. Weinstein, I think they said he was supposed to have committed suicide in jail or something. I don't believe none of that either. Um, these people lie so much. To I've learned that if they put so much emphasis on one thing, that's a distraction. It's a distraction to keep you from focusing on the real deal. Like they cause people to focus on this Jesus person. So if you focus on this Jesus person that does not exist, and they tell you that this Jesus person is coming, then you won't focus on the things that you need to be focused on because you're waiting on this Jesus to come. And by the time it's all over with, because this Jesus ain't coming, and you wouldn't have learned what you needed to learn to get out of this place. See, I have a problem. I just have a problem with each group. The Christians, the Muslims, the Judaisms, Buddha and Toy, and all of them are not here in America. But when I look at all this molestation, when I look at all this rape, when I look at all this uh, uh, control, when I look, something ain't right with the picture. When I see they actually started back putting spraying that sky. They putting that shit back up there in the sky again. So I'm like, where are you? Where are you, God? I didn't give permission to them doing this shit. Where are you? And then the drones are up there in the sky. I hear them all day long. And then they come out when the sun goes down. And they surveil around the area in which I live. I don't know what they're surveilling, you know, because I make sure they can't see me in TV and they can't see me in the computer because I block it when I need to. And then when I want to be messy, I'll unblock it and talk to them. I'm just kidding. But I do sometimes for real, but I don't make it a habit. So, but I have forgotten the name of that channel. Let me see. Right, I have seen that channel. Oh, you saw it. Okay. Yeah. It's two of them out there. There's a female, I think she's Chinese. She talks about it, the dead people that it's not dead. And then there's a guy doing it too now. You know. Yeah, there's a guy doing it now. And I don't know. But I did made YouTube aware of it. What do you do to block them? Do cover them up with a sheet or oh, you talking about no. What I do? You see this? This is a block. And this block is a magnetic block. And in with the magnetic block, I have, let's see, can you copper. You see that copper stuck in there? This blocks the radiation. The spirit just told me to get it. And so When I'm not using my telephone, it goes on my telephone. When I'm not using my computer, it goes there. Can you see me? You can't see me. And then same thing with my TV. And then I have them all around my room. Copper and magnetic blocks. It doesn't eliminate all of it, but it helps. It helps. They'll probably go in the damn hardware stores now and remove it all. No, magnetic. When you put the magnetic blocks and the copper together, it stops a lot of radiation. We have a certain amount of radiation, but if we get too much of it, then it does harm to us. It's the same thing with melanin. We produce melanin in our bodies. We produce it. And so if we go and get melatonin from off the counter in the stores, because the melanin in us creates melatonin. And so if you go and use melatonin because they use it for sleeping, then it may be too much. I'm told that they put melatonin in the computers and the TVs. I don't know how true that is, but again, um, I was told by somebody that does a lot of reading. Um, so a lot of times if you looking at your computer and you're having headaches and stuff, it may a possibility that you got melatonin on your screen. Same thing with glasses. I'm told also they put melatonin in the glasses, allegedly. you know but I just don't understand how they get away with so many things that they get away with. And that's why I see when they say, because that's what this means. That's what that means. They're making fun of Yah. I remember a long time ago when I first died, I think about 20 something years ago. Oh, yeah, it works. You sleep. That's probably why I'm able to sleep too. I just thought about something, Raquel. That's probably why I'm able to sleep. Because I have those blocks. And I have them all around it. I have them in the windows. I have them above my door, my bedroom door, my bathroom. And I put it on my computer and my TV and my cell phone. It's just as bad as that microwave oven. You ever just sit and watch how that microwave warm up? It be cooking. It be cooking like it's electro some shit. And when you watch it, it ain't really warming it up. I mean, it'll warm it up, but it look like it's doing some other shit to your food. I don't like using microwaves. I try my best to eliminate what I can, even though we have this GMO food. I try to eliminate what I can and take what I can, in this condition. And hopefully, this time next year, I won't be in this condition no more. I'll be able to grow me some real food, you know. The other thing too, the people that what do they call it? The Shrine of Madonna. The people of the Shrine of Madonna, they closed down here in Atlanta. They have a garden, and it was only for their people. And I can't remember. I thought it was in South Carolina. It's yeah. They have a garden, and only their people was able to use their garden. You have to look around because when you see, like here in America, they have certain people that are able to come here in America from the other islands, because America is islands too. Come from other islands, and that could build up shop here, have their own business, and they provide money for them to have their own business here. But yet those that are here in America, they make it hard for you to get a loan or money to have your own business. They just won't do it. They make it difficult. Microwaves are like massage to packaged food. Ooh, I was all excited. See, that's what happened. That's why I go away and don't come back for a few months, because we get something started, and then everybody don't participate. And then as soon as something happened with the computer, I mean, all they had to do was come right back if they didn't have nothing else to do, and we could have continued on what we were talking about. Because I really wanted to finish that conversation out what we were having, but with the group. Wow. Yeah. So I don't have nothing else to say, y'all. So if y'all got something to say it. If not, then I'm going to sign off. All right. You need a stove top. All right, good people. So I'll see you the next time I'm on live. You have a good night now.